In this video, we are going to see how to use the Genius Proflex in complex, narrow, and calcified canals. Let's take a look.
Now is time to discuss the narrow calcified canals sequence. One of the best examples of narrow calcified canals is the upper molar MB2. In this type of challenging anatomy, you will find the complexity of a curved canal added to the narrow lumen in almost all its extension. To demonstrate the Genius Proflex instrumentation sequence, it was developed a training block printed on a high-definition 3D printer. After a laborious job of detecting the mandibular molar morphology through micro-CT and transferring it to a CAD/CAM model, we were able to reproduce in one clear block the three most frequent types of root canal morphologies. The technique will be demonstrated with Medidenta's Genius Proflex instruments. These files are composed of a USA Fort Wayne's nickel titanium alloy, with both rhomboid triangular cross-section, or double S cross-section. Depending on the file, the customized heat-treated nickel titanium alloy can be predominantly on the austenitic phase, on a perfect balance between austenitic and martensitic, or more on the martensitic phase. The Genius Proflex recommendations for speed and torque vary according to the file group. The instruments must be sterilized before use, and it is recommended for single use only. The Genius Proflex Assorted Treatment Sequence Pack will be used to demonstrate narrow calcified canals anatomies instrumentation. There are 6 instruments in the package: Curvature Sweetener 2506, Pathfinder 1705, 2504, 3004, 3504 and 4004. Each one has a different heat treatment customized for each file approach. The instrumentation sequence is in the guide attached to the package. The 3D printed block is based on a lower molar. Intentionally, the mesiobuccal canal was designed with anatomy as complex as the MB2. It has a curvature from mesial to distal, and another curvature from buccal to lingual. Note also that the diameter in the last 3 apical millimeters is 0.12 millimeters, being quite narrow. Before starting the instrumentation sequence itself, some important procedures must be highlighted. It is always good to remember that rubber dam absolute isolation is mandatory in endodontics. First, we will clean the pulp chamber and prepare the canal's entrance using the Sonus E17 conical-shaped ultrasonic tip, with constant irrigation, gently touching the access preparation sidewalls. With the pulp chamber clean and the canal entrances prepared, we're going to add a lubricant that contains hydrogen peroxide to facilitate the canal's scouting and help with disinfection. Then we pour sodium hypochlorite to start cleaning, disinfecting, and removing organic tissue from the cervical and middle thirds. Note the champagne effect of the chemical reaction between the RC prime lubricant and sodium hypochlorite. Let's start instrumentation using a number 10 stainless steel K file to scout the canal, by inserting the instrument freely in an up and down movement up to the temporary working length. Determine the working length using a number 15 K file and an apex locator. Depending on the degree of calcification, possibly you must use instruments 8 and 10, previously, as a microglide path. Place the 15K file inside the canal and advance to the temporary working length. With the instrument in position, connect the file connector, and gently advance apically with oscillatory movements until the apex locator points to position 0. Remove the file connector and proceed with a smooth enlargement with the file in position using short oscillatory movements. Use the Genius Proflex 1705 Pathfinder to create the glide path. Insert the file gently up to the working length. If you feel resistance, use the Pathfinder 1303, and back to Pathfinder 1705. Proceed with the 2506 Curvature Sweetener file until the middle of the curvature. Customized gold heat treatment, and 19 mm length give this instrument the ability to partially enlarge the curvature entrance, leaving the area free of interferences to the next instrument in sequence. Copious irrigation, preferably with Sonus polysonic tip, and patency, must always be performed after 10 seconds of file usage. The next instrument in the sequence is the Genius Proflex 2504. This file can be used in rotation, or even reciprocation with Genius motor, or the new ACE cordless endodontic motor. Do not force or use pecking movements. If resistance is encountered, pull back the instrument until you release it, and proceed with brushing movements. Do not remain more than 10 seconds with the instrument active inside the canal. Copious irrigation and patency with the K file 15 should always be performed after 10 seconds of file usage. Finish the preparation with the Genius Proflex 3004. Finalize your shaping and cleaning step with copious irrigation, preferably using the polysonic tip and Sonus ultrasonic unit. Perform patency with the same 15K file. The Genius Proflex files promote the optimum space for the best fitting master gutta percha cone. Thanks for joining us in this presentation. For more videos and information, go to www.medidentaendo.com.